Is that true? Hey, Guy Samuel Newton, how are you, my friend? You saw Bucala Synth. Oh, thank you. You thought of me. Well, I love Bucala Synths. I'm, as you know, I'm halfway into a great interview with the great late Don Bucala. Red Bull has this incredible series, the Red Bull Music Interview Series. If you've not seen that, folks, it's amazing. Don Bucala, I'm here to talk about Bob Moog, but he was good friends with Don Bucala. They started out seemingly in a old school hip hop, East Coast, West Coast throwdown. It was the rumble of the LFOs, and but they became very good friends, and I love that. And as a matter of fact, I was able to meet both of them. I knew Bob Moog a tiny bit better because I met him 3 or 4 times. And I met Don Bucala just once at the Moog Fest, actually. He was there one time, and that was fantastic to meet such a hero. So we'll talk about Bucala some other time, but I wanted to hip people to that on YouTube. If you punch in Red Bull Music Academy, Don Bucala, fantastic interview. And that's a fantastic series. Say what you will about Red Bull, but holy shit, they spent some money on those interviews. I've watched some incredible interviews. Brian Eno and, Nile Rodgers and Tony Visconti, Suzanne Ciani, speaking of Bucala, Bootsy Collins, just an incredible lineup of interviews. Red Bull, go figure. They spent millions to promote music and to promote art, and these are very incredible long-form interviews. So I can't say enough about the Red Bull Academy. And Bucala is on one of those interviews. Some 50s avant-garde runaway. Look out! The UFO is crashing. All right, I think we're good. And I think I got my vocals up, right, guys? You can hear that synthesizer. Okay. Pete Brunelli, YouTube has the Red Bull, videos. I think, sadly, they discontinued this wonderful program. I mean, it really is over the top, man. I mean, go take a look. There's probably 100 incredible interviews. I can't wait to keep digging through because it's a lot of people I don't know, and they really hit all genres, hip-hop, jazz, pop music, electronic music. It does lean to the experimental, I'll say. Anyway, so what am I using to get to Facebook? I'm on OBS, guys, which I love. And I'm just messing around here. That's why you've got a screen on. You've got a shot of my equipment here, which I'm going to just talk about. I'm just on for a quick thing to promote the stream I'm doing at 7 p.m. tonight for the MOOG Foundation. So I'm using OBS. Frank, thanks for asking. I love OBS. It's revolutionary. I use it a lot. I'm still, I think, what is it, an acolyte? Is that the correct term for a learning grasshopper? I'm still learning it. I'm an amateur is the other word, but I really love OBS, and you can use. I've been experimenting with up to a 4-camera situation, and I can go even higher than that. Picture-in-picture, and texts and text anywhere on the screen, and really anything you could do in video production, filtering and changing aspect ratios, and of course really good audio with metering and a little bit of audio effects possible. And then you could program in scenes so that, for instance, if you're doing a live thing, you can have the cameras programmed to 3 minutes, every 60 seconds you switch from the lead singer to the drummer for 15 seconds, then to the keyboard player, then back to the the dancers or whatever. So you can program in scene changes. It's really cool. Anyway, more on that later. Let me focus on what I'm here for. So tonight at 7 p.m., I'm doing a stream for the MOOG Foundation, the Bob Moog Foundation. Here's a beautiful postcard of the original synthesizer that Bob Moog first time he put a keyboard connected to his modules, and wow, incredible piece of equipment. I got to see it at the Moogseum a couple weeks ago. So that's just a little postcard. But the Bob Moog Foundation is what I'm here to talk about, and they are a nonprofit, incredible organization run by their executive director is Michelle Moog Kusa, who is the one of the daughters of Bob Moog. And she does an incredible job, and she's got an incredible team of board of directors and board of advisors. I always want to point out to people, because there's a lot of confusion. The Bob Moog Foundation is completely separate and distinct from Moog Music Incorporated. It's really important. I find I go around the world, and when I talk about synthesizers, or Asheville particularly, people always want to talk about Moog, and we talk about different things. And there's still confusion. Once again, the Bob Moog Foundation, completely independent, separate entity, nothing to do with Moog Music Incorporated, which is the company that makes the synthesizers, but they're separate. And so what people need to understand is the Bob Moog Foundation is an educational institution. It does education with the Dr. Bob's Sound School, where they go into schools around America and teach kids on theremins and synthesizers, and they teach them about sound. They teach them the physics of sound and the frequencies and harmonics and how sound waves work. And they get to play theremins and sometimes little fatties and other synths as they're available, but always theremins. And it's really beautiful seeing 4, 5, 7, 10-year-olds playing theremins and experimenting with filters and, you know, understanding what an oscillator is and doing little experiments, you know, dropping things into buckets of water and watching how waves propagate outwards from the impact point, just things like that. So they're out there teaching people. And also here in Asheville, there's a place called the Moogseum. Very clever name, the Moogseum. And the Moogseum is just what it sounds like, a museum of Moog. And I'll try to put that on the camera too. But you can check this all out at moogfoundation.org. And I'm going to be streaming at 7 p.m. tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on my Facebook, but also on the Moog Foundation Facebook. And I'm just going to be talking like this for a few minutes. Michelle Moog Kusa is going to be there. And we're going to talk a little bit about the raffle. They have a raffle at, they actually do a couple a year, but this one, you can win a vintage mini Moog, which is incredible. For an entry is only $20 for one raffle ticket, and of course there's discounts to get 2, 5, 10, you know, varying numbers. I can't remember the breakdown, but you can get, you know, a bunch of tickets at a really great price. Also, what's great is the money is supporting an incredible cause. Like, as I said, not only the education mission of the Bob Moog Foundation, but you're helping them collate and maintain and preserve Bob Moog's letters and schematics and blueprints and archives. Incredible work they're doing. I've been fortunate to do a bit of consulting work for the Moog Foundation, and so I've seen some of the stuff that they have, and that they continually present to the public. There's always something going on at moogfoundation.org. Workshops, lectures, presenting some of this material to the public as it comes in. And if you visit here in Asheville, you go to the Moogseum, there is incredible multimedia touch screens where you can really go through the whole history of Bob Moog and his life and his technical journey, his journey in synth history. So the Bob Moog Foundation does all of that and more. And then they've got incredible T-shirts and books and fridge magnets and things like that you can pick up and support them. So do that. It's one of my favorite organizations because it hits so many marks. It hits the importance of the history of synthesis in general. That's what's important too, and I think people don't know that about the Bob Moog Foundation. Sure, it's right in the name. The focus is Robert Moog and his wonderful path through technology history, synthesizer history, of course. But also, it gives endless love to synthesizers in general, to this technology in general. When you go there, and you can see pictures on their site, they have a history wall that starts in 1896. And it shows you the telharmonic, which those of you synth students will know is really perhaps the earliest synthesizer, the earliest kind of, really focused sound authoring, technology. 1896, folks, way before an electric guitar, way before, Fender Rhodes or any kind of wonderful electronic instrument that we know of, way before Hammond organs, 1896. So at the Bob Moog Foundation, you go and you look at this beautiful wall, and it's got the Trautonium and the Ons Martineau, and it's got the theremins, and it's got all these incredible instruments through the 1910s and 20s and 30s and 40s. It's got the Hammond organ, which after all is an example of additive synthesis. It's and working with harmonic tables, really. It's and then it gets into the 60s with Bob Moog and late 60s, early 70s with colleagues like the aforementioned Don Buchla, and then it gets into the wonderful work of Alan Perlman with ARP. You see on the wall Oberheims and Korgs and Rolands and all these things coming up. EMS, the EMS Synthi is up on the wall. Really amazing. So that's what's great about the Bob Moog Foundation too, is that they're celebrating 125 years of mind-blowing sound authoring, technology that has changed our entire music world, our sonic world. So it's very cool. Anyway, I'm done blathering. I'm just going to play a little bit, and I'm practicing here, so I'm just kind of inviting people into my little rehearsal nook for this. Yes, Raymond Helfers, that it is a Sears fridge Moognet. In fact, I got one right here. So there's a few cool things. First of all, here is the man, the legend, Mr. Bob Moog. And this is just a little promotional picture that we see sometimes. Sorry if it's glaring, but there's Bob. And then you've got these little fridge magnets, which are awesome, and I pick one or two up every time I'm there because there's a nice little collection. It's like bubblegum cards. You can collect them. But this one here is Bob in the 60s, it looks like, working with, some of that very early modular gear. And then here's another one. Here's Bob quite a few years later, because he's got the Mini Moog. And he's got, looks like a system, System 55 behind him or something. Really cool. And then there's a few of them. Here's one other one. But again, just they have a great website. A lot of organizations blow it on the website. Really great website. So just go follow up on this. There's actually two websites. There's a Moogseum website and a moogfoundation.org. So you've got a couple ways you can go check them out. All right, so that's some of the unexpected multimedia. Let's go back to your comments, and then I'm just going to play a little bit. And oh, by the way, here is, as I boot my iPad back up. This is ancient. It's an iPad 2. It's old school. It's got a warmer sound. The iPad 2s, I'll tell you, man, they're vintage. You get them in pawn shops, but the angle's a little weird. But there's my first guitar picture. That's my late mom and dad, but me at about age 3 with a guitar. Anyway, let's get in here, and we got, let's see. Of course, it doesn't. Yes, it does work still. Okay, so we're gonna perform a little bit. I'm just practicing here, but I thought I would jump on and share some facts with y'all, and I'll see you at 7 o'clock. Electra Comp, says Pete Weintraub. Okay, Pete says you've been to Fred Goff's place in Connecticut. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's. Well, I know Al Goff. Is that his dad? Or no? Who's Fred though? Is that a brother or a son? Yeah, incredible. I know Al Goff really well, and he's got incredible stories because he and Al Goff Sr. brought Keith Emerson his very first. I think it was an L100. Brought it to an ELP gig. And and Al Goff Sr. almost had a stroke when he saw Keith attack this thing and stick knives in it and all that. So really cool. Thanks for asking, Coulter. How are you, bro? Good to see you. Make weird music in the Hay House. And how are you, bud? Coulter, there's the link. Thanks for asking. Bob Moog. BobMoogFoundation.org or just MoogFoundation.org. And it takes you there. And we're going to have these links at 7 o'clock when I do this stream in about an hour and a half. No, shit. In about whatever it is. I can't do math. 2 hours. Okay, Al Goff. Gotcha. Okay, Pete. Thank you. All right, folks. So, again, go grab a ticket. I forget the breakdown, but one of them's $20. And there's a price break, I think, at 4 or 5 or something. And but either way, it's a tax deductible nonprofit organization. So you're helping directly. You're directly funding education and maintenance of the history of all these instruments and the technical journey of Bob Moog, as well as the history of synthesizers in general. I mean, you got to see this place anytime you're near Asheville. One of the many reasons to visit as a synth head. Not only the Moogseum and the Moog Foundation, but of course Moog Instruments themselves has a store, and you can go in and listen to all of Bob Moog's incredible inventions and ones that came later. But there's modulars there. There's mini Moogs. The Moog 1 and the Sub 37, which was one of the last ones he worked on. There's Voyagers, there's Theremins. So that's the Moog store. And then there's also Make Noise Music across town. That we can't be talking about synthesizers without mentioning my people at Make Noise. They are one of the greatest modular companies on earth, and they're right here in Asheville. Really, we are a synth town. Robert Schindler, what's up, buddy? You'll be back Monday. Okay, yeah, drop me a line. Monday's a crazy day for me. I do my Meatless Monday meetup, and I've got some other things happening. So, but yeah, it's touch base, please. All right, folks. Again, I'm going to shut up now and just play a little bit and get out of here because I got to go over to the Moog Foundation. I wanted to put up, too, that I'm performing tonight at 10 p.m. for my Patreon stream. And I'm doing, I'm promoting it still. So if someone wants to check it out, just to jump on for free, let me know. Just DM me. But I'm doing a stream tonight, um, 10 p.m. Eastern, and it's my electro glitch stream is what I call it, and it's just what it sounds like. It's just electronic music. It gets a little glitchy. It gets a little ambient. It gets a little weird, but we do it every Friday night for my patrons. But I want to invite you to check it out. If you're hanging around tonight and you want to hear some more electronic music, just send me a DM and I'll give you the links. And here's my Patreon page in general for you to take a look. And this is one of the things I do now. I do gigs at home, and my patrons come check it out. And I'd love you to as well. All right, let's. All right, folks, I'm going to let that kind of fade out. Can I, yeah, you go. I can control that. Magic. I hope you can still hear my voice. Let me back that off. Wow, thank you for stopping by, and I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back at 7 p.m. on the MOOG Foundation website, or I should say the Facebook. So you know what to do. It's right there on my wall, but also on their wall, and they're gonna webcast it, and I will mirror it if I can manage to do this. So Michelle Mokusa will be there with me at the Museum, and we're gonna talk about the raffle. Get your raffle tickets, and let's sell this out, folks. Let's make a showing, all right? Come on. Let's do some hive mind activity here. Tell 10 people about this. Go get your raffle tickets. I'm even going to enter the raffle, even though there's conflict of interest if I win it. But I won't win it, and if I do, we'll pick again. But, you know, the North Carolina lottery officials are all over this raffle, and it's very strict, by the way. It's not just like slips of paper in a hat or something. You'd be fascinated to see the sausage making that the MOOG Foundation has to go through, which I love. You know, it's very official, and it's I'm trying to shut my voice up back here. It's very official and very cool the way they do it. So yeah, but let's sell this raffle out. Go to the MOOG website, as I've listed here a few times, and a few of you have as well. Thank you so much. MOOGFoundation.org. Grab your tickets. Most importantly, though, tell some people about it. You know, invite some folks. We're going to talk a little bit about this. By the way, on the technical side, some of you that might be wondering, let's turn that into a drone. I just did that rehearsal here on this. It's a Arturia iMini. It's the Arturia Mini MOOG replica, if you want to call it, software. And Bob Moog himself approved of this one, and he loved how it sounded. There's a few of them out there. Moog makes one, and I think one of those audio companies that does plugins makes one. You know, there's one in a few different groups have put out a software version, but Bob really liked this one, and it's a Mini Moog layout. You know, your 3 oscillators. You can control all the same things. You know, glide and what your modulation mix is. You've got a little mixer. It's even got a way to put external input into it, but it's got your same kind of 5-point mixer. It's got your envelopes, aka modifiers, and a lot of, all the switching. They add a digital delay, which I had off, and they add a chorus, which I had off. I wanted to just practice as close as I could to the physical thing, and that's all you were hearing. I have a looper, so it's just like I was sitting there with a multi-track tape recorder and you know, a synthesizer. I was controlling it from this Korg monologue, and what's beautiful with this software is you can go in there, like any software, and you can map the knobs. See that? The screen comes up, and you could touch any knob and then touch a physical knob. So I was actually controlling cutoff and resonance and 2 oscillator volumes and master volume and you know, 1 or 2 other parameters from my physical keyboard over here. So really awesome. And those of us on a budget who can't afford a Mini Moog, hey, it's a way to have it on in 2 dimensions. Anyway, see you at 7 o'clock for the real stream, and I appreciate you all for stopping by. This is so cool. to spend a half hour here with me. Let's see if I missed any comments. Hey, Rich Gregory, what's up, bro? Pete's saying Mandelbrot's fractal equation. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure in a PPG wave or some kind of wave table machine, you can do things with like Mandelbrot fractal math. That's what's amazing about synthesis. Really, the sky's the limit in terms of waveforms and mathematics, because it's all math. Let's see. Lonesome Cowboy Nanda. Yes, very good. Raffle. That's the secret word. Zappa 88 in Spain. All right. Thank you so much, folks, and see you at 7.